Alright students, as we were discussing about this particular play, but due to some inconvenience I was not able to conclude the second day video in just one section, so I have just segregated the video this particular day into two parts. So this is part 2, second day video, okay, and now we'll continue reading this. And we were at page 61 when there was a conversation going on between Mr. Lamb and Derry, and when Derry was saying that I have got so many physical impairments and people always are scared of me. Even I look at the mirror, I am scared of myself. And Lamb is, Lamb is just trying to encourage him. He's just trying to give him motivation time after time. And there is a kind of a bit of argumentative tone which is actually being held by Derry here, because Mr. Lamb is trying to encourage him, and Derry is being very aggressive about the fact that he just doesn't want to compare himself. He just wants to accept himself as he is, just as he is right now. Okay, now page 61, please pay attention. Mr. Lamb, I like to talk, have company. You don't have to answer questions. You don't have to stop here at all. The gate's open. So Mr. Lamb says that yes, I say strange things, I say peculiar things because I really like talking. I really like to be in company of people. Whereas Derry said, when Derry gave clarification to Mr. Lamb that I don't want to be near with any kind of person. I really want to keep myself isolated and really alienated. Derry, yes, but Mr. Lamb, I have a hive of bees behind those trees over there. Some hear bees and they say bees buzz. But when you listen to the bees for a long while, they hum. And hum means sing. I hear them singing my bees. So these lines, please pay attention and underline these lines while you read the text. It says, Mr. Lamb is saying that I have a hive. Hive is just a place where you actually kept bees, okay? So he just says that some bees are there. Many of bees are there, and some people say when they look at them, when they just listen to the sound of the bees, some people say that these bees are just buzzing. Buzzing is a very irritating sound. But Mr. Lamb says, when I hear the sound, when I actually listen to the sound of the bees, if you listen to them patiently and very carefully, you will actually find them that the bees are singing, and these are my lovely bees. See, he's just a lover of nature. He just treats every organism, every species that has been created by nature like on equal rank. He just does not discriminate anything, even the bees as well. Derry, but I like it here. I came in because I liked it when I looked over the wall. So Derry said that, but yes, I like the fact that, I really like to be here. I really like the place, and when I just come inside the wall, I felt that it will be really a safe place. So see, for the very first time in the play, Derry has actually explained, he is actually narrating his likeliness towards the place. Mr. Lamb, if you would see me, you would not have come. So Mr. Lamb said, but I know that if you actually had seen me, if you have thought that somebody will be there, so you should not have come inside. I know that. Derry, no. Mr. Lamb, no. Derry, yes, it could have been a trespassing. Trespassing means, the people who just, tries to enter the particular area or property without the permission. So yes, Derry says that definitely it will be a trespassing. Mr. Lamb, that's not why. Derry, I don't like being near people. When they stare, when I see them afraid of me. So see, Derry is saying that I really don't like the fact when people just look at me and they get really scared, they get really afraid. So I just hate the fact that why people hate me so much. Mr. Lamb, you could lock yourself up in a room and never leave it. There was a man who did that. Now see, Mr. Lamb will just give I would say a very dramatic effect to Derry's problem, and he will just narrate a short story to him. So what Mr. Lamb suggests him that, Derry, it will be better for you to lock yourself in a room, and now he just narrates the story that there was a man who did that. He was afraid, you see, of everything. So there was a man, Mr. Lamb is saying that, Derry, there was a man who locked himself in a room because he was scared, he was afraid of everything in this world. A bus might run over, or a man might breathe deadly germs onto him, or a donkey might kick him to death, or lightning might strike him down, or he might love a girl and the girl would leave him, and he might slip on a banana slip and fall with people who saw him. laughed their heads off. So he went into this room and locked the door and got into his bed and stayed there. So what this man did, this man was really scared of everything. He felt someday he used to think that, if somebody will talk to him, the deadly germs of his mouth will actually enter into his mouth, and number of nonsense or stupid things will happen to him. So he just locked himself in a room and he just got into the bed and he just stayed there forever. Now Derry says that forever. See, now Derry is becoming really curious in the conversation. Now he's not complaining, he's not finding flaws. Rather, he seems to be really concerned about lamb, that why you got a tail lag, what happened to you, and now he's really showing interest in the lamb's conversation. Mr. Lamb, for a while, Derry, then what? Mr. Lamb, a picture fell off the wall onto his head and killed him. So he said that one day, as he locked himself in a room, he was just sitting on his bed and all of a sudden a picture just fell down on his head and he just died. So Miss Derry just started laughing. So see, for the very first time in this particular play, Derry has actually shown one of his emotion. Okay, Mr. Lamb, you see Derry, but you still say peculiar things. So Derry is saying, see again, now Derry is again moving to that particular thinking and he says, but still, you say very strange and very peculiar things. Mr. Lamb, peculiar to some. Derry, what do you do all day? Now see, Derry is what? Derry is showing bit concern towards Mr. Lamb. Now he wants to ask that what Mr. Lamb does. Perhaps he's liking the personality of Mr. Lamb, Okay, now he says, sit in the sun, read books. You thought it was an empty house, but inside it's full. Books and other things. It's full. Full. Absolutely full. So Mr. Lamb said that, yes, what I do? What I do in a day? I just sit in the sun. I enjoy the company. I enjoy sitting in the lap of nature. I enjoy everything that has been created by God. I love reading books. For the very first time when you entered inside the garden wall and you spoke to me, you said that it seemed to be an empty house for me, but this is not empty. Inside it is full of books. It is full of me. But there aren't any curtains at the windows. So Derry said, but I can't see any curtains in the windows. Mr. Lamb, I'm not fond of curtains. Shutting things out, shutting things in. I like the light and the darkness and the windows open to hear the wind. And Mr. Lamb said that no, I really don't like shutting everything inside the curtains. I really want to see every insight and every good thing, good aspect of nature, whether it is a darkness, whether it is a lightning, whether it is a sunny, bright day. So I really don't like to shut inside the things. Derry, yes, I like that. When it's raining, I like to hear it on the roof. Not for the very first time. Now even Derry is showing the likeliness that see, even I like the sounds and I really like it on the roof when it rains. Mr. So you are not lost, are you? Not altogether. You do hear things, you listen. So Mr. Lamb says that here, you come to the conclusion, you are not lost, my dear. You are nobody different. It is just that you are being hurt by something. So it doesn't mean that your life is all over. There are still many things. Because you got senses, you have got insights, you have got number of senses. You can hear, you can smell, you can listen, you can do whatever you want to do. Derry, they talk about me downstairs. When I am not there, what will he ever do? What's going to happen to him when we have gone? However will he get into this world? Looking like that, with that on his face, that's why they say. Now Derry is saying that whenever I'm out somewhere, I have seen people talking behind my back that what I'm going to do in my life, what will happen when my parents will be there, will not be there. And this thing, that makes me really upset. Miss Sinha, Lord boy, you have got two arms. So students, all of you please pay attention, because whatever Lamb is saying right now to Derry will actually proves to be a parable in the end. It proves to be a parable in the end. Parable what? What do you mean by parable? See, parable means a story that has got some spiritual or some moral lesson. So what lesson we learn here? That whatever difficulties we have in our life, we still don't have to feel wasted. We doesn't have to isolate ourselves. We doesn't have to feel alienated. We have got so many things in our life to do. So he just encourages himself and Derry, and he says that, boy, you have got two arms, two legs, and eyes and ears, and you have got a tongue and a brain. You will get on the way you want, like all the rest. And he says that if you try hard, if you look at the inside you, you don't have to find the happiness outside the world, but the happiness lies in your heart. So just use your strength, use your body, use your mind, and definitely you will achieve the goal. And if you choose and set your mind to it, you would get on better than all the rest. And he says, if you do like this, definitely your quest will be accomplished right now. Derry. How? Mr. Lamb, same way as I do. Derry, do you have any friends? Mr. Lamb, hundreds. Derry, but you live by yourself in that house. It's a big house too. So Derry says, okay, what you do and how many friends you have? So Mr. Lamb said, hundreds. So Derry said, but but it doesn't seem that, because it doesn't seem that you have so many friends because you live all alone. Mr. Lamb, friends everywhere. People coming, everybody knows me. The gates always open. See again, please underline this line. The gates always open. This line seems to be really important because he keeps on repeating this particular thing, and it is actually a very kind, I would say, a platitude kind of thing that has been used by the writer here just to give some emotional or just to give some repetitive significance about Lamb's personality. And he says that gates are always open and I have got friends everywhere. These all people whosoever comes here, they're always welcomed inside my garden and they all are my friends. They come and sit here and in front of the fire in winter. Kids come for the apples and pears and for toffee. I need toffee with honey. Anybody comes, so have you. So he said that, just like others, you have even come to my garden and it is absolutely okay with me because they all are my friends. Derry, but I'm not a friend. And Derry said that, no, I'm not your friend. Mr. Lamb, certainly you are. So far as I am concerned, what have you done to make me think you are not? So Mr. Lamb said, no, definitely, absolutely you are my friend. And what is that thing? How can I say that you are not my friend? You have not done anything to hurt me and I cannot call you, my enemy or so. Derry, you don't know me. You don't know where I come from and even what my name is. So Derry said that you don't know me. You even don't know my name. Mr. Lamb, why should that signify? Do I have to write all your particulars down and put them in a filling box before you can be a friend? And Mr. Lamb said, what does it signify? It does not, simply, symbolize anything. I don't have to write your particulars. I don't have to write your name, class, gender, something like this in a form and, before knowing that you can be my friend. Derry, I suppose not. No. Mr. Lamb, you could tell me your name if you choose and not if you didn't. So he says that it's your choice. If you want to tell me your name, it's fine. But if you don't want to tell me your name, even that's okay. Derry, only it's Derek, but I hate that. Derry, if I'm your friend, you don't have to be mine. I choose that. So Derry said, okay, fine. My name is Derek, but I really hate it. People call me Derry, and but it will be my choice that I'm a friend or not. Mr. Lamb, certainly. Derry, I might never come here again. You might never see me again, and then I could not still be a friend. So Derry said that I'm a stranger, I will just leave the garden and I will never come here, so I can't be your friend. Mr. Lamb, why not? Derry, how could I? You pass people in the street and you might even speak to them, but you never see them again. It doesn't mean they are friends. So Derry said that how can I be your friend? There are a number of strangers passing in the street, a number of people walking outside your house. So it is not possible that you call everyone or you recommend or you refer every person as your friend. They are all strangers too. So see the perceptions, even between choosing friends to be or not to be, the perception between both of these personalities definitely differ here a lot. And these people, both of these personalities, they perceive life in a different style, in a different manner, and in a different tone. Now, students, we'll continue about this play in the next video.